So today I got a really simple drill, something that you could definitely be using down the range if you want to, but maybe it's also something that you can practice with at home to get a real strong feeling of what we're trying to do in the golf swing itself. So what you're going to need for the drill is you're going to need a cardboard box, and I've got here a club box which I managed to get a hold of, and you're going to position the ball in the centre, okay, similar to what I'm demonstrating here, and you're going to position the golf ball close enough so that the club is a couple of inches away from the address position. So you don't want to get too close, that it becomes really invasive. But we also want to get close enough, and I'm going to talk about the details of exactly why I think this drill is really good. But first I'm just going to hit a few shots using my flight scope so you guys can see the ball flight, and then we can talk about it in a little bit more detail. Bed up, nice contact, straight of flight on that one. So just hit a couple more here. Pretty solid again. Let's do one more. Not quite as well hit, but still solid enough. Okay, let's have a look at some of the data and then also talk a little bit more about the box and the drill itself in more detail. The reason why the box is so simple in terms of its idea is, well, it basically stops you having too big an issue at the bottom part of the swing, which is known as a club path. So basically it doesn't really matter if you are measuring data what your club path is doing, whether it's swinging slightly out to in or whether it's swinging slightly in to out. But what you want to avoid is the in to out or the out to in number becoming too big. If you start swinging out to in or in to out in a big way, which basically means the club's travelling too much this way and this way at the bottom part of the swing, well, then you're going to struggle to manage your club face. And then what starts to happen in golf is if you're struggling to manage your club face, then what will therefore happen is you're going to have quite a wide dispersion. And not only will you have a wide dispersion of shots going right or potentially left, but when you start doing that and you're hitting it with either an excessively open or closed club face, what's also going to happen is you're going to impact the spin on the ball. So you're going to start losing distance if you're hitting it with an excessively open face, or you're going to start taking too much spin off the ball if you're closing it and it starts going too far. So it becomes a problem that maybe you're sort of slightly unaware of. Now, the box is brilliant because what the box basically does is it does a couple of things. It stops you swinging in to out and it stops you swinging out to in. And I think if you can accompany a feeling of rotation, so what I mean is as I start my downswing, if I feel like I rotate my body as I try and get the club to travel like it hits this way, so it travels almost feeling like it travels in a straight line through that hitting vicinity, then what it's going to do is it's going to ensure that you always have a very neutral club path. So like I said earlier, even if this is something that you don't want to go and hit balls next to, but you have something like this just set up at home where you can just do some practice swings next to, and you can just get the feeling of taking it back like so, and then rotating the body so the club comes back in this vicinity. Because I personally think if you can obviously stabilise that bottom part of that golf swing, then that's what's going to lend yourself to the most amount of consistency. Even if you're slightly off in the start to the downswing, as long as you get something repeatable here and here, then you're going to be pretty good to go. So if you're struggling with your game a little bit at the moment and you're really starting to lose a bit of confidence, I think this is quite an invasive drill, but I think it's also a brilliant drill because what it's going to do is it's going to kind of get you to focus on the important part of the swing, which is the bottom part of the swing. And of course this can be carried out for putting, chipping, pitching, all sorts of shots, driving as well if you want to. And I like it for the reasons that I said. I think it kind of subconsciously makes you swing, subconsciously makes you neutralise the bottom part of that swing, which is obviously a big thing for consistency. As a feeling for me, it just feels like I'm taking the club straight back and straight through that hitting area. So all of a sudden, instead of it just being like a box, it becomes a wall. So theoretically, I'm imagining that is just carrying all the way up towards the ceiling. And not only is it just here in front of me, I'm also imagining that it continues its way down. So it gets me to sort of narrow my focus. So I get set up and then I'm really sort of focused in on that target. And again, it's encouraging me to hit the golf ball more this way, like so. So I really feel like it's encouraging me to rotate through the ball and not get too handsy, which none of us want. No golfers want to get too handsy. So I think it's a really nice drill. And for some of you, it'll be brilliant because it'll enforce you to start learning how to rotate through the golf ball. Instead of kind of getting stuck and moving this way, it'll sort of force you to find a way to open up that body. So you're moving away from the box, and then you can deliver the hands down towards the bottom of the golf ball. I genuinely think it's a real simple exercise, but a really, really powerful one that I would definitely get you guys entertaining. So have a go. As always, as I always say, let me know how you get on. You can definitely incorporate this if you are somebody who's lost a bit of confidence, like I said. And yeah, I'm not going to suggest it's not invasive, of course it is, but it's definitely worthwhile. See you guys again really soon.